All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. Football is finally back. I'm excited. I know you're excited. And it's awesome. It almost doesn't even feel real. It feels like we're still like weeks away, but no, it's here, right? And the Baltimore Ravens are going to be taking on the New York Jets Sunday at 1 o'clock in MetLife Stadium. And I think the first thing right out of the gate that needs to be talked about is the fact that Robert Saleh named Joe Flacco the starting quarterback not only for this week against the Ravens, his former team, but also for the foreseeable future, at least the next 3 weeks, with the possibility of a fourth week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Okay, so essentially the entire month of September is going to be the month of Joe Flacco, pretty much. Okay, how do I feel about that? I'm okay with it. We're not rolling out a guy who is incapable of scoring points, incapable of leading an offense. Last season, during his time as the starting quarterback, against the Miami Dolphins, I thought Flacco looked good. Again, was he elite? Was he performing like a top quarterback in football? No, but I think he provides the Jets enough stability at the quarterback position to win games, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, he's 37 years old. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's seen tons of different defenses. He's been around the game for a long time, started in many games, been in high leverage situations, right? He's played in numerous critical downs as well, those fourth and goals, those must-have situations, 2-minute drives. There's a reason why his nickname is Joe Cool, okay? Because he tends to handle business when things get a little tough, right? When the game gets a little rocky, you need to make that throw, you need to make that play. Joe, throughout the course of his career, typically has pulled through, especially early on, to come in as a rookie, to have success in the playoffs and everything like that. So much success for such a young player at the quarterback position all those years ago. I think it says something about his mentality. But anyway, when we look at the Baltimore Ravens last season, they were 8-9, 6 in total offense, 3rd in rushing, 13th in passing. And then when we look at the defense, they were the 25th best defense in all of football, number 1 against the rush, 32nd against the pass. So kind of weird to see 1 and 32, together in the ranking category here. But something that quite frankly needs to be talked about is the fact that the Ravens got blasted. They got blasted with injuries last season. Lamar Jackson, Marcus Peters, the list goes on. It really hampered that team last season. Okay, so what do the Ravens do? Not only do you have all these guys coming back from injury this season, but they went out and they spent money. They added Marcus Williams, star safety from the Saints. They added ex-Jet Morgan Moses, Michael Pierce at defensive tackle as well. They went out and drafted one of my favorite players in Kyle Hamilton. They snagged Tyler Linderbaum later in the first round. The Ravens did a really good job this offseason of acquiring talent, but with that said, they also lost a couple pieces. Bradley Bozeman at center, Alejandro Villanueva at tackle. So it wasn't like a picture-perfect offseason, but I will say they were able to pivot and add some talented players in those positions that they lost, right? And obviously Linderbaum at center, and then of course Moses at right tackle. So we're looking at Baltimore. I expect this team to be a double-digit win squad in 2022. So it begs the question, what can the Jets do on offense and defense here to have success in MetLife Stadium against this stacked Ravens squad? Let's start with the offense first. I think the thing that's really important is to start fast and limit turnovers. I think if the Jets can maybe get out to a 7-0 lead, a 10-0 lead at the end of the first quarter, or in the first couple of drives, the Jets are successful in scoring points. Now all of a sudden Baltimore, right, a great team that is known for running the football, might be forced into throwing the ball a little bit more. And it's not to say that Lamar Jackson can't throw or that the Ravens offense can't have success throwing the football, but I would much rather be in that position to where the Jets defense has a comfortable lead. It's not do or die. You can now allow your pass rush to breathe a little bit, get in the backfield, and hopefully get after Lamar Jackson, chase him around, as opposed to Baltimore hogging the entire clock, going on these 6, 7, 8-minute drives, resulting in points. If the Jets are down early in this game, 14-0 at the end of one, Baltimore is completely controlling the pace of the game. They're controlling the time of possession. I think that's just a recipe for disaster. That was, in my opinion, what plagued this Jets team a lot in 2021, coming out of the gate and falling right on their face with an immediate turnover, immediate 3 and out, penalties, whatever the case was. I felt like, whatever could go wrong went wrong last season a lot of the time early in the parts of the game. But look, if the Jets can start off fast, get some points in the first quarter, and not be shut out by halftime, I think that will really, really benefit the squad moving forward. And then, of course, limiting turnovers like we talked about. That's just a given. Of course, you always want to win the turnover battle. Typically, the loser of the turnover battle loses the game. So it should go without saying. But again, much like coming out slow, coming out lackadaisical last year to start games, turnovers really were a problem. Because not only on paper does it just benefit the team, benefit the opposition, them getting an extra possession, you essentially lose a possession as well, but it also changes the mentality. You're giving the other team all the momentum in the world. Think about just you as a fan in the stadium, at home watching, on the TV, when your team recovers a fumble, when they, catch an interception, whenever they cause that turnover, you jump up, it's exciting, and you see all the guys running around. Like, that is a big deal. So of course you're losing a possession, the other team is gaining one, essentially giving them more of a chance to score points, but it also flips the momentum. And I think that's really, really important for the Jets to be starting off the season against a very talented team at home. They cannot squander the opportunity by giving Baltimore extra possessions in the first half. So for me, getting off to a fast start, a clean start, limiting the confusion, everybody knowing where to be. I don't want to see wasted timeouts. I don't want to see delay of games and everything like that. That's just a mess. We've had all offseason to prepare for the Baltimore Ravens. Let's put it together. Let's string along some good drives and, of course, limiting turnovers. When we flip it and look at the defensive side of the football, I think it comes down to two main positions here. First, the linebackers. When we take a look at a team like Baltimore that has so much success with running the football, you never really know what direction they're going to be going. It's all reactionary from a defensive perspective. When you're going up against a quarterback, Lamar Jackson, and a running game that is quite frankly brilliant, in my opinion. The play design is great. It just keeps defenses on their toes. It really puts the ball in Baltimore's court. They play with the mentality of, we're going to do our thing, which is running the football. We're going to have success, and you need to react. We're not going to be switching things up, completely bailing on the run and, all these different options and everything like that based off of who we're playing. So the defense has got to adjust. So with that said, it falls on the linebacker's shoulders to not only just come up and help stuff the run, because think about it, if the running backs and Lamar Jackson are breaking through that second level and getting 10, 15, 20-yard runs, that is going to be an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare, not only just in the running game though, but the linebackers have got to be responsible defending against the pass in the middle of the field. That's where Baltimore, they have a lot of success. Short passing game, hitting Mark Andrews up the seam, up the middle of the field. They really do a good job in creating deception, being the first mover, if you will. And I think the linebacking core has got to be, they got to perform well. If guys aren't being covered, if they are not having success defending against the run, and we can't stop them with our 4 down linemen, it might be a long day. Okay, so the linebackers have got to play well. They have to. The other position is safety. I'm expecting Jordan Whitehead to be making plays within the box. Lamar Jackson bouncing it out to the outside, trying to extend a play, a handoff to the outside, a quick little bubble screen, quick little slam. I'm expecting Jordan Whitehead to be there and to have success. The Jets signed him to a multi-year deal, super productive back in Tampa Bay, a nice young player who can cover as well as tackle. Big fan of Whitehead. By the way, much like Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl champion. So he knows what he knows what winning football looks like. So the safety position, up close to the line of scrimmage, making sure Lamar Jackson doesn't have 4, 5, 6 seconds to throw the football. And then of course in the back end as well, I felt like that was an area that the Jets struggled in massively, a year ago. Just the safeties were just getting ripped apart. A lot of that was because of injury and just overall depth and talent at that position. But overall, the linebackers and the safeties, they got to have clean games, got to have productive games. If this Jets defense, in my opinion, wants to have success against this Ravens unit. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.